Brothers! Kill them for me! Upon hearing the order, the red fire soldiers of the general's mansion hesitated not a bit, drawing their blades and charging at the enforcement team. Nearly 1,000 red fire soldiers had come this time, not only outnumbering their opponents but also launching a pincer attack, making defense nearly impossible. Form a shield wall! Sensing danger, William immediately ordered the enforcement team members to sheath their blades and raise their shields, forming a defensive formation. They had pursued too far ahead and were now cut off from the main force. Facing an enemy 10 times their number, their best option was to hold their ground, because all they needed to do was delay for a moment. Soon, the various military forces of the royal estate would swarm in. By then, these 1,000 red fire soldiers would be the ones taking the beating. After a brief charge, the two forces clashed. The red fire soldiers, personally trained by the mighty General Lewis, were not only absolutely loyal but also well-trained, capable of fighting against overwhelming odds. One-on-one, they might be slightly weaker than the elite enforcers, but in large-scale battles, they held a significant advantage. Especially now, with their overwhelming numbers, they slaughtered the enforcement elites to the point where they couldn't even lift their heads. If not for William's astonishing strength, bearing most of the pressure alone, the defensive formation would have been broken already. Zhang Long! Zhao Hu! You dare attack the enforcement team? Are you committing treason? William roared in anger. To openly slaughter enforcers was to go against the entire royal estate. There would be no place for them in West Lacosia. You dared to assassinate our general! So what if it's treason? Zhang Long showed no fear. That's right. I'm rebelling today, so what? Zhao Hu was equally defiant. Their wealth and status were all given to them by General Lewis. Forget killing enforcers. If the general ordered them to take their own lives, they wouldn't even blink. A bunch of fools who don't know their place. Let's see if you can escape the royal city. As William spoke, he pulled out a signal flare and fired it into the sky. Boom! A loud explosion echoed. A red flare shot up, bursting at an altitude of 100 meters. Thick red smoke spread across the sky, lingering for a long time. This was the signal for a city-wide lockdown. All official forces, upon seeing the flare, were required to immediately assemble for support. Meanwhile, the citizens of the royal city had to return home and lock their doors at once. The lockdown signal flare meant something monumental had happened. Initially, William's pursuit of General Lewis was just an enforcement operation. He hadn't wanted to alarm too many people, but the Red Fire soldiers' resistance had escalated this conflict to outright rebellion. This was no longer a matter that could be resolved with a few deaths. Tonight, the entire Red Fire army and the general's mansion would be bathed in blood. General! This isn't looking good. We should retreat. Seeing the red signal flare, Zhang Long and Zhao Hu's faces changed. The Red Fire soldiers were strong, but they were no match for the law. Even just the elite forces of the royal estate would be enough to overwhelm them, let alone the full mobilization of the city's troops. If they were surrounded, there would be no escape. Leave a squad to hold them off. The rest, retreat with me. General Lewis made a swift decision, leading the main force to withdraw rapidly. Had he not been poisoned with 10 fragrant soft tendon powder, he might have led the Red Fire soldiers into a fierce battle. But for now, survival was the priority. Trying to escape? Not so easy! William snorted coldly, leaping onto the rooftops. At this moment, he no longer concerned himself with the enforcement team's battle. He sprinted across the rooftops, relentlessly pursuing the fleeing forces. No matter what, he could not let General Lewis escape. Otherwise, he would have no way to answer to the young prince. General! We've got pursuers! Zhang Long quickly noticed something unusual. Glancing back, he saw a shadow darting between rooftops 100 meters away. Send a squad to take him down! General Lewis ordered in a deep voice. His condition was worsening, his body weakening, his breath growing ragged. Only by reaching a safe house and taking his long-cherished elixirs could he counteract most of the poison's effects. You two, take a squad and stop him! Zhang Long commanded. 2 deputy generals immediately led a group of dozens to intercept William. As for Zhang Long and Zhao Hu, they remained by General Lewis's side. They could see that the general's condition was dire. If a skilled assassin struck now, it could be fatal without their protection. Kill! Shouts of battle erupted behind them. The 2 deputy generals led dozens of soldiers to block William's pursuit. But the difference in strength was too great. Before they even got close, William had already slain the two generals with a single strike each. As for the dozens of red fire soldiers, without a proper formation, they were scattered instantly. They couldn't stop him at all. Breaking through the obstruction, William didn't linger in combat. He continued his relentless pursuit. He didn't need to confront the red fire soldiers' main force. He just needed to keep close enough to track them and fire signal flares intermittently. Once the Royal Estates troops arrived, it would be time to close the net.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tight, destined for a lifetime. Love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care, now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace, but now there's just an empty space, and I'm lost in this endless chase. Keeping you in my heart, a piece of you I'll never let go. Though distance brings separation, in